So hello there, welcome to the green technology. At present, we are trying to see the developing country-wide adaptive measures for safety of the local people. In the last video session, we have seen what is the adaptive measures, what is the mitigative measures, and what is the main purpose these measures are going to be working. As we know that the climate change is on the way. So then there are going to be a lot of changes are going to be occurring in our daily life in terms of there are going to be seasons are going to be affected, rainy season, winter season and summer seasons. So then how these local people need the safety for this part. So then we are going to be see over here. So in this case, because of this global warming and because of the man-made mistake, so the second person dies from the mysterious Wuhan virus in China. Officially it was came into the newspaper 17 of January 2020. So then what will happen in this case? Human to human transmission possible. They are going to be expected this kind of the virus. And the next one, outbreak has caused alarm because of the link with SARS. That means severe acute respiratory syndrome, which killed 349 people in mainland China, another 299 in Hong Kong in 2003 and 2003. And at least 41 people have been hit with the pneumonia linked to the new virus in China. And then Wuhan Health Commission said 12 people have recovered and were discharged from the hospital while 5 people were in serious conditions. So then what will happen? This kind of the virus, because of the human made mistakes, human cultivated virus are going to be getting into the market. So then the first case of the rare H9N2 virus detected in Maharashtra in January 15 to 2020. This is particularly in India. So then what will happen? This is the first case influenza or bird flu causes by the variety of H9N4 has been reported in 17-month-old boy in Maharashtra. The infection is caused by a rare variety of H9N2 virus, which is a subtype of influenza A virus that leads to the human influenza as well as the bird flu. So these are going to be, the climate changes are going to be occurring, the human habits are going to be started to change. So then automatically they are very close to the certain kind of the birds. Suppose there is going to be chicken is there. They are going to be also the eatable items for the human being. So these viruses are going to be transmitted from the animals or birds to the human being. So then why to take the adaptive measures? So as we seen that in that kind of the situation, it become a global pandemic. So then how to take the measurements for this? Various adaptive measures have to be planned for the well-being of our own people to protect them whenever they are either our coastal areas or in our inlands against the impacts of the climate change and the sea level rise. So in this case, as we know that suppose if you are going to be considering the India is going to be have the coastal line, inlands and hill areas also there. At the same time, these are areas have its own type of problems. When you are going to be coastal area, you are always subjected to the sea level rise and certain type of tsunamis also going to be attacking and certain kind of the depressions and the cyclones also coming. And further inland also going to be subject to the heavy floods and the draft areas also going to be creating by itself. When it comes to take the high Himalaya areas, then glaciers of these Himalayas are going to be, that ice is going to be melting and flowing. So then the surrounding rivers are going to be heavy flooded in this case. So then the government have to take the adaptive measures, these kind of things. The global warming has already set. And as the world's countries continue to either on the migration measures or climate change, and sea level rise will only increase as time goes, and the security of all habitats, water and other natural resources will be at stake. So when to take the adaptive measures for here we are explaining with the one example. So the Iceland countries like Maldives and countries with along the coastal lines, suppose Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, next Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweeps, these are the countries which are surrounded by the India. The India will have the problem of rising the sea levels and the possibilities of facing the hurricanes, tsunamis, etc. Besides the vagaries of the uncertain rainfall, while inlands may have the problem and climate, and the rainfall extremes melting glaciers and the floods followed the diminishing the river flows, and the severe water shortage is going to be taking place, because these are all things are happening because of the climate change. And adaptation strategies, how we are going to be the better knowledge on impacts and vulnerabilities, so that they can plan their controls on the measures better. So in this case, predicting the rain and the cyclones, the Indian government has forwarded different satellites. This is weather monitoring satellites they put in the earth orbit, so that they are going to be assess the situation when the low depressions or high depressions are coming, and how they are going to be forming, what is the path of these cyclones also. They are using these satellites to measure it. So that's way we are gaining the knowledge, and we are making the preparedness is going to be much better. The improved disaster, the preparedness and the management, including the monitoring and an efficient and rapid communication system, we are going to need to develop it. So next, improved healthcare facilities and system, including their extension services. So in this case, improved healthcare facilities also required, because of now we can see, now we are going to be suffering with this kind of the virus, the pandemic of the Wuhan virus. That is, we are going to be say that is the COVID-19. So then these viruses are time also they need a lot of health facilities. So the government have to care about it. Good governance, including the responsible decision making and community empowerment in this case. So adoption strategies according to the regions. As we know that suppose India is going to be divided with the different type of the states, 23 or 26 type is there. So in this case, what will happen, every state has its own culture, and the same kind of different types of the habits are there. So we need to take adaptive strategies according to the region. So the coastal areas, inland areas and Himalayas areas, that means we are segregated into this one, because we do have around 7,000 kilometers the coastal area is there, and the many people also become habitual for their livelihoods from the sea, and inlands is going to be mostly agriculture areas, and Himalayas is going to be hill areas. So different measures have to be taken to suit each terrain. Also there are substantial between the states also. The culture is going to be the main, and the language is also the biggest barrier in India, because every state has its own the mother tongue. So some states are coastal, whereas some are fully inland. So the measures therefore have to be state specific and need to be administered the state wise. The mitigative measures are more country specific, as they have to be part of the global efforts. So in this case, they have therefore to be planned centrally and executed either the state-wise or the central administration mechanisms. In this case, very recently Kerala was hit with the heavy floods. So then what will happen? This kind of the mitigative measures or the adaptive measures one should have to take at the global level. So then what is the outcome from this one? What we have seen, why to take the adaptive measures? Suppose if you are going to be taking the India, so then what will happen, it was going to be filled with the coastal areas, inland areas and Himalaya, such a hill areas. So then according to that region, we need to be considered. So when to take the adaptive measures examples, as we have seen that in this pandemic time, the government has taken its own adaptive measures to control and to save the human populations. At the same time, when the climate changes will going to be occur, so then what happen? The climate changes, there is going to be tsunamis, hurricanes, like that will going to be affected on the coastal areas. Inland areas going to be suffered with the heavy floods, as well as the drought situations are going to be coming, and other hill areas also the same problem. The adoption strategies we need to take. This is going to be a specific country specific we are going to be using in the mitigative measures. The adaptive strategies must be follow the mitigative measures in order to meet the global requirements, and the adaptive strategies according to the region. This is going to be one of the important aspect. And thank you. So to create a more awareness on the on your surroundings, we are doing the more number of video lectures, and follow the channel if you are interested.